two, one. We are live as of right now.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. We're
Okay,
live.
so
I gotta go.
well, you better stay boo
Oh,
boo. I got questions to ask y'all today. It's a weekend,
mm.
and welcome. Welcome my two guests. We have Joshua to my right. Welcome, Joshua. And we have a new guest here um, who
Let's see.
is at the bottom.
Oh, it what happened? You gotta log in.
Okay, so all right. So basically, so today is we going over chapter 2, and I wanted to talk to you about what do you think about the subject today is what you think about this. So I'm gonna be asking you some questions, okay?
Mm.
So let me first start off by introducing myself, and this is your host Shantae, better known as Shine for Family, um, Lieutenant General, Ambassador of Christ, Jesus, soldiers of arms, God's right arm, that is, chose to put people under her feet, and she is here so that you can know how to legally put people under your feet as well, and not in the way of your angry body, your illegal body, your unlawfully wedded
I'm back.
husband. Welcome back, Shaja.
They
We
Welcome.
locked
have
me up.
we have a new guest. Her name is Shaja. Welcome, Shaja. Welcome, welcome.
Locked up.
And
Oh, yeah.
we are here with another therapy session for you out there, sir. Yes, sir.
What the hell?
So let me get started. All right. I got some questions. So what do you think about this? This is my question to Joshua. What do you think about this? My question for you, my number one question is to you as the youth that's coming up in this world and the things that you see and the things that you interact with. Also for you, Shaja, the things that you all go through on a day-to-day basis. But first, I want to ask Joshua this question, and then I'm going to come to you and just see what it is that you think about this.
Okay.
So, Joshua, has the nation changed their God? Their God. Has the nation changed their God?
Yeah, I say so.
Okay. And what makes you say that they have changed their gods? I mean, their God.
Um, some people think that God is a conditional God
Mm.
or that we're gods or that
So some people think that God is a traditional God or
conditional.
conditional God or just overall a weird God?
And traditional.
And traditional. Oh, and traditional. And a traditional God. So the nation changed their God because of those three things.
Yeah.
Traditional, weird, and what was the other one you said?
Conditional.
Conditional. So traditional, conditional, and weird. So that's the reason why people have changed their God. Now, as you have interacted with different people over your time, you've been here. What does that look like? What does that look like? Does everybody has has everybody changed their God, or is it just some people that has changed their God? Some,
Most people.
most people, that's a good that's a good word. That's a good word. I think that's Booby, stop it. This is serious.
Alright.
This is very serious now.
I'm sorry.
And it's people listening, even though they're not here, they are still listening. They're out there, okay? And they still listening. But this is a serious matter. This is something that the Father wanted me to talk to you too about, okay? And to get your view on it. Because there are a lot of people that needs to know how the youth feel how the youth not even feel, but being that we all are gifted, we all have this gift that God has given to us on the face of this earth, and we all provide as a family what we need uh to benefit in that family, right? In that family structure, it takes each and every individual in that family structure to come together and do this for the kingdom of God.
Mm.
And that's why that's why I invited the both of you to here, because this is my generation. This is my daughter and this is my son that's here today. And I just wanted to let people out there in on what it is that we talk about day to day, all the time, you know? So this nation, like you said, I'm getting back to the topic of what you said. You said that this nation, they changed their God because they think he's too weird.
Mm.
And you also said traditional, like they don't want to be traditional. So the truth that you said about the too the too weird, meaning that they going off of what other people are doing, other people are saying, and then if they get if they're getting too weird, they feel like they're getting too weird for them, but not thinking about that it's a new nation, it's a new thing. We coming into a new situation with with how it is out here. So um so the nation changed their God because not only weird, you said because of tradition. But that's the thing, like why do they think that that our that our God is traditional? Is he traditional? And why do they think that he's traditional? You said no, right?
Yeah.
But why do they think he's traditional? Is the question.
Well, because the Pharisees.
Hmm. Talk a little bit about the Pharisees.
Pharisees were all about word of the Lord and about how the word of the Lord does this, the word of the Lord does that.
Hmm.
It was all word.
Okay.
They only knew like something. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. And so is Shaja there?
Yeah.
So Shaja, I have this same question to you. For number one question is, has the nation changed their gods? What is your intake on that? Has the nation changed their God?
Um. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And why do you think what is it that you uh have picked up as you've been out here as long as you have? What is it that why do you think in your words, what do you think the reason why the nation has changed their God?
I think they changed their God because um back in the day when the Israelites kept running to money and
Mm-hmm.
gold,
Mm.
they kept on following false gods like Baal, and all these other gods.
Ooh, that ooh. Mm.
So
That's
I
deep.
think the reason why.
Oh, that is so true. So as you saying, Shajan, that they they changed their gods because of money,
Yes.
gold, riches, opportunities, and just not being content and thinking that, being patient, waiting on the God that's the real true God. Instead, they would rather go into something that's just like they would do if they were dating someone else. They go to that person because of the family history and what they can give to them. So it's changing God is just like changing relationships.
Yep.
Hmm. And they don't know, they just on to the next. That's what changing gods is crazy. It's
Mm.
crazy out here. So, and why is it that you think that they are uh I mean, what is it that they want in particular pertaining to, I guess I can't ask you that question, but I could say being that they run into this gold and this riches and this outside stuff that's outside of God. Why is they not just being patient and waiting on him, like he says in the Bible? Is it because some of them don't read the Bible? Or is it just, could it be that and the fact that they just don't have any patience to wait on him?
Yeah, they have little faith.
Mm,
They don't have as much faith as a mustard seed. They
mm.
just go on and steal, kill, and destroy,
Ooh, wow.
and make habits of doing that.
Wow. Make habits of doing things, kill, steal, and destroy. Don't even know what these other gods entitle. That's basically what you're saying. Like they don't even know what these other gods entitle. but yet they going after it.
It's momentary prizes.
Mm. Momentary prizes. I have another question this is question number 2. Um, for you, Joshua, and also Shade, but I'm gonna start with you, Joshua. Are these gods that they have changed to, are these really God?
No, they're either statues
Mm.
or ideals.
Oh, wow. Statues or ideals. Mm. Like statues, like in that word monuments, and like the Lord was telling me how they sacrifice for these gods
Mm.
all day long, because they serving these gods don't know what it entitles, like Shaja was mentioning. They don't know. Mm. So number 2 for you, the question number 2 for you, Shaja, are these gods that they have changed to really God?
No, these are things that you can see,
Ooh,
not
wow.
things that you have to have faith in, and they limit their ability to worship. So they don't worship as the God that we serve, and all you have to do is show up,
Mm,
and by show up means it's show in front of that, so it's just showing off.
wow. Wow. Ooh, we getting into some some breaking good news update. We are getting into some breaking good news update right here on this channel today.
How you do that?
Yes, yes.
Settings.
Yeah, that's my little concoction there. I got a third question for you. If they have changed their God, doesn't this mean that they have changed their glory?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm, wow. And on that, if they have changed their glory, then because they changed their God, uh, what does this mean for the nation? What does this mean for them? What are they going to be up against now?
Um, could you repeat that?
If they change their God, which means that they have changed their glory, what does this mean for the people out there now? What are they going to do now?
That they live.
Who's going to save them?
Well, the statues. They better hope those statues go save them.
Wow.
They
Mm,
daddy in hell.
Yeah.
mm, mm. Ooh, and that one there is what a lot of people won't say. They scared to say that word hell. Mm, because that's where they headed.
Yeah.
And that's who gonna save them. That's correct. That's the only person gonna save them.
Say them right to hell.
That's right. That's right. and they ain't coming back. They ain't getting out of that. There is no way out. Once you go in that, there is no way out. The only way out is through God, whose son name is Jesus. That's the only way out, you know?
Yeah.
Just to even say that word, hell, that's a lot to think about. That's a lot to think about, but yet people take this as a joke, like they don't take this serious. Like you're going to hell. Just for me to say that, it means something. Wow. And number 4, I got some questions here. So my fourth question to you all is, and being that in their glory, and in this change of glory that they're in now, and now that they're over there in that glory, that's serving that God, that's serving that hell. Now that they doing that, and they in that position right there, like that's the only way they can go, because they think God is weird, too traditional, too conditional.
Yeah.
They just gonna be stuck over there serving their other gods, serving their other statues, and serving their other and serving their coins and their silver, not knowing what it's really about. Mm. Don't that just make you want to cry out for them? Do that make you cry out for them?
Yeah, but thing about it is, there's not much we can do because we can't be
Mm.
everywhere at once. So why even be there? Well, I know that sounds like saying, "Oh, but if you could help, you could." But
Right.
it's like leading a cause for a fleeting battle. And what I mean
Mm.
by that is like trying to win a war when there's just gonna be a second one. Like
Wow.
there's no point. Um,
Wow.
Thing about it
Wow.
is, there's some things you shouldn't intervene with, even if you want to, because you
Mm.
don't have all the power.
Exactly.
That man on
Exactly.
the street, he could use that money for drugs. He could
Mm.
sell the shoes that you just bought him, or the phone, or anything.
Mm-mm.
You can't help everyone.
And yet it's still people that still
Yeah.
try to help everybody. And yet God said that, like, say for instance, if God tell you, hey, don't pray over this person or don't pray over that person because you've already done that.
Mm.
And now you're doing it again, like what you just said. Now you went to war the first time. Now you're gonna go to war again for the same situation again, and then you're going to war for the same situation after a while. You putting yourself in a position like you got.
Mm.
So I can truly see where you're coming from. Like that's putting you in a position like you got now. You're not gonna be able to go out there and save the whole world because you're gonna lose your soul. A man who tries to save the whole world, male and female, will lose their soul. Mm. And what do you think, Shaja, about the men and the men, which is male and female, the human being, about their change in the glory that they're in now? And does it profit them?
No, it just how can I say that? No, it doesn't profit them. It gives them comfortability. So
Mm.
they just become comfortable where they at in their flesh. And it's hard for
And
them
they
to get huh?
and what you say? I'm sorry.
I said it's they just staying comfortable in their flesh, so it's gonna be hard for them to get back into their spirit until they turn to Christ and they change
Mm.
their life around. I feel like once you gain the whole wide world, you lose your soul.
Mm.
So you gotta be careful with what you steward.
Ah, you got to be careful with what you steward. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Ah, wow. Powerful, powerful, powerful. You do have to be careful in what you steward. Mm. But yet, it's a lot of people out there that says, no, we're gonna give them. They got these feelings for everybody to where they like they willing to lose their own self just to prove that Jesus has this power. No, I think that Jesus can prove that all by himself. You just have to back up and
Thank God.
let God be God. Yes, yes, let God be God. We we as children of God, we got things we have to do. We have to serve others, but we not entitled to doing the things that all Christians tell us that we got to do. That's not our battle. Like we're not out here to do something unless God sends us there. If God didn't set that person out to do it, then they just doing it out of their flesh. Like Shay just said, they're just doing it out of the abilities of their flesh. Just because of, let's just say, just because they went through something when they was young, and
Mm,
this is their way of doing it because of what they dealt with when they were young,
mm,
you know. And
yeah.
so now they're using that for this, and you can't do that. This is not why we came here. We didn't come here to bring all our stuff here with us. That's not what we came here to do. We came here so that we can humble ourselves. And then when the Lord says move, we move just like that. And
Mm,
that's it. But that brings me to number 5.
mm,
How it's all for the sake of when we dealing in our own glory, it can be so many things that people go through and that they put on in those other gods towards other people. Like there are many people living in abomination against God because of these other gods that they've changed to.
mm,
Because this God got certain things about it that they don't like. So they feel like they got an actual choice to make and do over there. No, you do got to make a decision whether or not you're gonna stay over there or you're gonna come on here to the spirit and be over here.
mm,
So my thing is, which brings me to this: it's all for the sake of it's not for the sake of God. It's all for the sake of what we see, which is what Shady said, which is it's all for the sake of what we see. And that is, um, if I could see for cheating on my husband, then it's all for the sake of cheating on my husband.
mm,
You know, if he doing to me, I'm doing do to him. It's eye for an eye. They keep using that in the wrong judgment. Eye for an eye. No. And and they don't care who it is that they are messing with, with mind. That's why we got a lot of shootings, a lot of killings, a lot of, like Shady said, a lot of killings, shootings, murders, robbing. We get a lot of these things because a lot of bullies out here that keep messing with people, and don't know where to stop. They don't know where to stop at. They just continue on and doing stuff for the sake of these gods. These gods will take them to the eternity and back. At least that's what they think. So they do it all for the sake of 2 women, 4 women, 6 women, 10 women. It's for the sake of being into abomination itself and more. And that's it. That's all whatever it is, if they got these feelings on their body that tells them that this is what I'm gonna do, then this is who I am. That's what it's about. It's for the sake of that. They about to go out and do it for the sake of that. Some feelings. Just doing it for the sake for some feelings on their body. As though nobody is telling them that you can't go off of your feelings. So it's a million and one people. It's a million people compared to one person on the earth, and you gonna go for what the million people said versus that one person. That's crazy. Just because a bunch of people said it, don't make it true. It don't make it true at all. So as I go down here, I wanted to say for number 6, that brings me to this, how the people of God, because this is what this is. These are the people of God, because all are God's children. He has called everybody. It's not one person on this earth that God has not called. He's called everybody to stand in their positions, to take your position. But hold on, don't move. Let me direct this. That's what God is wanting us to do. So we can be in a position when it's time. And when he say do something, we doing it. When he tell us to say something, we saying it. When he let out that right hand to deliver us, he not only just delivering us, he's trying to make sure that we get to the next destination. Because we don't got time to stop. As children of God, we don't got time to stop. This ain't no stopping situation. We got things to do. We can't have distraction. So that brings me to this. Have they not committed 2 evils? Have they not committed 2 evils? And those 2 evils are, which is in the Bible, those 2 evils are, number 1, then they have forsaken God. That's one. being number one, being that they have forsaken God. Are they not understanding this? Like, that's number one. You've done two evils now. And you have turned yourself away from God. That means you have committed willing sin. You've committed willing sin against your own self. You can't say then, oh, I did this because this, I did that because of that. I can't do that. That God is too traditional. That God is conditional. That God is just weird. You have committed sin against yourself, following in another direction. And so now you've committed two evils. Evil. And that is, now you have forsaken God. And this is in the Bible. Now you've forsaken God. That's one. And number two is you have what's the word that it used in the Bible? You have hewed. I think that's the way that you say it is HEWED. You have hewed out of what you were in. You have hewed yourself up out of a cistern to go into a broken cistern that cannot ever hold water. That's the second evil that you have done now. Like, you took yourself out of, meaning that you have cut down this tree. You have cut down this tree. Yep, that's it. You cut down that tree from the root of it, and you no longer have the strength with you. You no longer have the might with you. You are no longer rooted with the line of Judah. Like, you're not there. You're gone. You have been cut off. So when you die, you're going to be crying for help. And yet, in hell. Because you have committed two evils. And one is, you have forsaken God. And the other one is, now you're not even under the water that's going to be to where it pours over and pours out and fills. No, now it's going to be, it can't hold the water. You are not, nothing's holding that water. Nothing's protecting you. You are just out there all on your own with no God. So I got this question, number 7. I have this question. So that brings me to this. Is Israel a servant? Is Israel a servant? Now, Israel, to me, Israel, according to the Bible, is spirit now. And it has always been. I can't say now, because it has always been spirit. Israel has always been spirit, but yet people keep talking about going over in Israel, the state. When Israel has always been spirit, we are all Israel, which means spirit. It's all of us. So my question again is Israel a servant? Josh? Oh, let me say this. Is Israel a servant, or are they home-born slaves?
Well, slaves don't have free will. So I say we're servants.
children of God. But
Yeah.
what about the ones who are children of God that has turned against God? Are they servants or are they homeborn slaves?
Who turned against God?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the question. Oh, okay. So answer that, Joshua.
I say they're enslaved to a certain niche. Yeah.
You say they're a slave to a certain extent,
Niche.
niche.
Yeah.
And what you mean by niche? To a certain niche.
Niche. It's like
Niche.
uh niche is like specific thing. I
Right.
think.
So they're a slave to specific things.
Yes.
Niche. Niche. I know what you mean by niche, but I just wanted you to say that to those who are actually listening out there. They don't know how serious of a matter this is. They don't know that.
It's-
So, so Israel is slaves or a servant to a certain niche, to a certain
No,
thing.
like Israel the people?
Yeah, Israel the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which one is it? Both or one?
What do you mean?
Meaning that are they a servant or are they the homeborn slave? Because this is what it says in the Bible that they have turned away from God.
Yeah, they're slaves. Not in
Mm,
like a sense where they have changed anything. Uh,
mm. So they haven't changed anything.
yeah.
So they have done. So they are doing exactly what someone else has done before them,
Mhm.
and now they're carrying out these things in which they have no idea in
What
what they
they do.
get off into. Yes. So in a sense, they are slaves because of that.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop.
How in the world? So they are, in a sense, a slave to that because of no change.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No change equals slave. Mm.
Yes.
So what is your intake on this, Shaja? Is Israel a servant or are they a homeborn slave?
Um,
And if so, why are they so spoiled?
mm, you know what? I got this perspective of it. They're neither, because a slave in the Bible is someone doing something righteous for Christ, and then a servant is serving the Lord. So they're neither. They're just fools.
I guess so. But like slaves, we're not slaves to God. Shit.
Yes, in
Mm.
the Bible, we are slave. We are supposed to be. He is our master, so we are
Yeah.
slaves to him because Slaves are originated to build kingdom. It was not what we used to do, not what we used to do, but what black people used to be back in the day. Slavery was originated from the Bible where God was the master and we were serving him. So it was servants, but it was slaves. In the KJV, it's called slaves. And people pick that out the Bible and they start saying, well, God enslaved the black people and all this stuff. And we don't believe that because that white man wrote that book. And that's the reason why they say that.
Mm.
I say
Wow.
it's more of
Mm.
say you're not slaves because you can choose not to follow, like Judas did. He
Right.
was kind of a slave to Jesus, but he chose not to follow. At the end.
Mm.
Hey, you're a servant with the choice if you want to or don't want to follow. I think what you said is true.
Yeah, what she's saying is a totally different perspective, and it's true. And what you're saying is a totally different perspective, and it's true. And it's like is it's just coming from two different perspectives, but it's all true. But yet a lot of people will argue, out there about how this is this and that is that. It's no specific thing in the matter. It's whatever God is saying, and it's also to do with as you're walking this walk, what you didn't, what you know yourself, because hers was very in depth, and so was yours.
Mm.
Both of y'all are very, very wise children, beyond the imagination. Okay, y'all are very intelligent, highly intelligent, and so they need y'all perspective out there because they need to wake up. They need to be activated so that they can know what's going on.
Mm.
But that is true, Shade. Like what you were saying, that's true. And Joshua, what you were saying is true too, you know. And which and my thing is that the thing is this, as it states in Jeremiah, as it states in Jeremiah 2, it says that they they are spoiled. They are spoiled. They have chose to leave God to serve another God, but yet in a way they still haven't changed the God that they are serving. Like they're still staying stuck in that particular God and don't want to come over here to this God, which is what Joshua said, in which I put into their what Shady said, they don't want to come over here because they can't see it. They want to look at something. They want something tangible.
Mm.
So in a way, my perspective on that is that they are enslaved to an extent, to what Joshua said. They are enslaved to an extent,
Mm.
But they are enslaved into the wrong things.
which is what which is what you were saying. And I agree with that, but they are enslaved to the wrong stuff. Yes. But yet they are servants as well, which is what you were saying, Shaja, that they are servants too, because you said they not I neither nor, but yet they still uphold to uh servant, being a servant and a slave, or you know, where so my perspective on that is this: they are slave to a degree, they are servant to a degree, and yet they are spoiled in the midst of that because they it goes off into what Joshua said. They want to pick whatever they want to pick. They want to be wherever they want to be. They don't want to be in this one spot. They want to be everywhere, which is what Shade was saying. So it's just a lot of spoiled people running around here, not serving the one true God.
Mm.
So that brings me to number 8, which is why forsake. Why? I'm asking you this. Why do they forsake the very spirit? This is my question. Why do they forsake the very spirit that has led them away from this slavery time after time after time? And that's my question. Why forsake the very spirit that has led them away from this time after time after time, from this slavery, time after time after time? And because in Egypt, bring it back to Egypt, where Pharaoh and Moses, they took these people out of this slavery mentality, this slavery stuff, and yet they still went back to it years and years to come, and to this point where we are now. Why? Forsake the very spirit that has led them away from this very slavery over and over again. Why forsake them?
It just no idea.
And that's something to think about. That's something to think about. And as we as we move on, I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty sure God will do it even after we gone. You know, like he'll still keep saving these same people because of what they've been taught. Because he's a conditional God, right? He conditional, but yet he'll still keep saving these same people that think that our God is a conditional God. Baby, he'll still keep saving them over and over again, and yet they'll still keep showing up, but yet they won't believe what they showing up for, and they'll leave him and forsake him again.
Mm.
Why?
No idea.
So I got this to say as well. I'm gonna ask you this question. So will this wickedness correct them or what? What do you think, Josh? Will this wickedness that they are in, will this wickedness correct them or what?
People who don't know of God have no reason to like correct themselves. You know.
Mm, so true. So true. How can they correct themselves when all they looking for is opinions of other men
Mm.
and suggestions of other men? So if it ain't come from a man, another man, human being. It didn't happen. Mainly it didn't happen. If it didn't come from this person, that person, to where I could see, then it didn't happen. And what do you think about that, Shay? Will this wickedness correct them or what?
What you mean?
Meaning the wickedness in which they are going in against God and going in their own glory.
Oh no, it won't correct them.
Mm.
It will not. It just will make them more in their flesh.
Ooh. So it will make them more evil,
Yep.
is what you're saying.
Yep.
Mm. Something to think about out there. Something to think about. So this here, serving of these gods, will only make them more evil. Mm. So yet the world is just gonna get even more evil.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan. And yet at the end of it, they gonna have to understand who they are to serve.
Yeah,
Mm.
ain't gonna be like, he real? What the heck?
It's pretty much, yes. They are going to be in that way. They are going to be in that way, yes. He was real all this time.
But it's gonna be too late.
Yeah,
Woo!
gonna be like,
And God,
dang,
and God gonna say, I do not know you.
Ooh,
off of me.
ooh, wee. Mm. Wow. It's gonna be something. So they will not learn from this correction. They'll lose their life not learning from it, not sitting down with God, not not learning what it is, who He really is, not investing in people to learn who He really is, but sitting down and learning who He really is for themselves. So they won't even do just that. Instead, they just keep looking at others, going around her, doing their own thing.
That's me.
I see.
Mama Jachi froze.
Joshua, you frozen?
That's me.
Why is it two of them?
Hey.
Wow.
What the-
Well, and that also brings me to how God has done this so many times.
It's got to be
He
annoying for us, but God's like, well, there we go. Might as well try again.
exactly it. You know what? And that's true because I see a lot of preachers and a lot of people who are out here now, like prophets.
Mm.
They get very annoyed, and then all of a sudden when they get annoyed, then they don't want to help these people no more. When you shouldn't have been into it like that in the first place. Like you only supposed to do what you're supposed to do and then keep it pushing,
Yeah, keep the push.
you know. Yes. So God has done this so many times. He has, and this is what he's done. God has broken the yoke of them from that's out there doing these evil and wicked things. He has broken the yoke of them from this wickedness over and over again. As time has gone on and on, he has broken the yoke of these people from their wickedness. and yet they still turn to it anyway,
Mm,
which is wickedness.
exactly.
Still turn back to it anyway. What sense is this making?
Unbelievable.
None. So do they not see this stuff as an evil thing and as a bitter thing? Do they not know that this thing is manifesting in the flesh as evil and as bitter? So when these things come out from them, it's going to be bitter. And it's going to be a lot of people that's saying, well, I can get angry. No, it's a difference between being angry and being bitter.
Mm,
You are manifesting things from internal into the spirit. You are manifesting something. And not even from the spirit, but from the flesh, the space within the flesh, which it carries spirits as well. And they are known as snakes. Boo boo, how many people do you have over there?
you can always have more, right?
You are hilarious, you and your crew. So, do they not see that this stuff out there, America, do you not see that this stuff as an evil thing, as a bitter, inner bitterness of stuff, and yet you still saying that I can do this stuff. Nobody has made me do this thing. I'm doing it of my own. This is what I want to do. This is my life. I live it how I want to live it. Do you not know that is further than anger? So that's why I say stop getting angry, because you do not know where that anger is coming from. You manifesting some of y'all that's still is operating in this anger. That's bitterness. That ain't anger. That's why you gotta stop operating in the anger, because of that. You do not know what that is. You do not have that much control over your body. You don't. God does. So for you to say it's okay to get angry, no, it's not okay to get angry. It's not. It states in the Bible that you should have a this, that. No. It states in the Bible you should be righteous. That you should be righteous. And and being in righteousness, it does entitle a certain sort of righteous anger, but it's not the anger in which we giving out. That's not what it is. It's some bitterness inside there that some of us still gotta let it go. It's bitter. It's rooted in hell. So you can't just say, oh, it's okay to be angry. No, it's not okay to just shoot out what you want. You got to go into God, and He will tell you when time to do something and when time to not to do it. Which brings me to why are they, or should I say that, why are their fear? This goes into this. Why are their fear not in the Lord our God? Instead, it is in these other gods. Why then root your fear in this bitterness, in this evil, and then say that this is me, this is who I am, and you becoming all these different things, abomination, adulterated, you fornicating, you are doing the sinful acts against the Holy Ghost, against God. Uh-uh. You are doing this against God. When you are being embittered, when you are utilizing this amount of evil, and you saying this is just who you are, this how you was raised. Oh, God is weird. So I'm gonna continue to do all this and do that. I can't get into that lifestyle because that's I ain't ready for that lifestyle yet. You acting like you got forever.
You don't. Tell
You
them.
sure don't. Not of your own, not in your own stuff. You got an eternity with Jesus Christ. That's what Bible says. That's it. You don't got eternity for yourself
Mm.
in those gods. You got eternity in hell. You got eternity here. That's what you have. And tortured in that. And it's not saying you can't make a choice to come on over here because he's consistently calling.
Mm.
He's consistently calling. God is always calling. He breaks the yoke of that wickedness, which is what I said, to bring you back up out of it. And yet you still keep running to it. So that can't do anything for you. The fear that they have that's not in the Lord. Which is why I say you cannot just get angry. You can't say, oh, it's okay to be angry just so you can be angry. Who does that? Because you don't know what that anger is rooted in. You can't be angry just to be angry. Oh, so I can be angry. I'm mad today. So I can be angry. So you can't tell me I can't be angry because it says it in the Bible to be angry. Really? Well, first off, check yourself and see if it's rooted in evil or bitterness. Where is it at?
Mm.
You just want to get this off? That's evil.
Mm.
And you don't care who you get it off at too? That's evil. That's bitterness inside.
Mm.
So who is your fear in? Because if God says stop, you got to be able to take heed to the spirit and stop.
Mm.
So that's the question. Who is your fear rooted in? That's when it becomes that. Who is your fear rooted in?
Mm.
For you to say such things. And yet you still keep cursing somebody out. So who is your fear rooted in? You're stubborn. You're being stubborn and you're being hard-headed. And yet you still keep trying to get away with it. But at the same time, some of you are going to have to learn that. You got to learn it. But if you don't learn it, it's called you're going to get it the hard way. Which brings me to why do they plead with God? Meaning, why do they plead bargain against God for the sake of some gods in other places and don't wait on God? Have they forgotten about God? These are some questions that I have for those out there. Have they not forgotten about God? Have they not forgotten about God? And that brings me to, and I'm gonna go out after this. It brings me to Jeremiah, in which we were just talking about, Jeremiah 2. And this here is for something for you to go and pray on about. And this is Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 32, all the way down to 37. And it says, Jeremiah 32, all the way down to 37. It says, It says, and this is just something to look at, like what it is that you think that you're doing over God, and you think that you're getting away with it by you fighting people and consistently being combative toward people because you feel like they the only ones that can see you and not God. So
Mm.
that goes into this. And think about this as we going out.
Mm.
Can a maid forget her ornaments? Can a maid forget her ornaments? Or a bride, can she forget her attire? And will she wear to become the bride? Can she forget her attire? Yet my people, this is God saying this, yet my people have forgotten me. You have forgotten God.
Mm.
Days without number, over and over and over again. And then 33 says, why? Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Why? That's mainly what you're doing. Why have you trimmed your way to seek love? Because that's what this is. You can become evil because you can become angry because that's how you feeling right now. And you gonna say, well, you're gonna use the Bible to say that this is okay for me to do this because the Bible says so. So why trimmest? Why did you trim a little of the love that God has to go in your way to seek after love? Why? Therefore, have you also taught this same type of love? That's what it's saying in 33. Have you not taught this same love that you seeking after and you getting angry and you want to be in this anger? However you nurture your anger, going out cheating, going out stealing, killing, robbing, adultery, fornicating, all this different stuff, sinning against your own self,
Mm.
just to speak love when it's already here. Why then have you trimmed love down to your level of the word love to go seek after it? Are you not teaching the
Mm.
wicked ones this same way, children of God? This is what this is saying. Are you not teaching the wicked people, the people who are wicked, doing this stuff anyway, or trying to look for a way out, but yet still see you doing as a child of God? And also, the wicked people, are you not seeing that you are doing this in front of those who are wicked? These are the wicked ones with wicked ways. Are you not teaching them this way? And then 34 says, also in your skirts, it's found the blood of the souls of the poor innocents. And then it says, I have not found it by secret search, but upon all these, the poor. I ain't did no secret search. It's already out there for me to see it. Because of how the poor does what they do. And what did God say? It's better to be poor than to gather all these riches within these gods that you are trying to get off into. You perverting yourself, trying to search for love. And then it goes on to say, yet you say, this is what people say. Yet you say because I am innocent, right? You say, yet I'm innocent because I'm innocent. Surely, which I told you this already, God not caring about your innocence. He not. You're innocent when you out here doing what you're doing, passing things on to other people. He not caring about that. He don't care about how young you are, how old you are, how in between you are, how you an adult, how you was a little baby. He not caring about none of that. And yet it says, this is what they saying. Because I'm innocent, surely his anger shall turn from me. His anger not gonna get me because I'm innocent. I didn't have nothing to do with this, even though I'm doing something outside of God's will. And I didn't go in to see if my anger is something else related to me seeking after love, the wrong one. I'm searching for man's love versus searching for God's love. How then can you turn and say that you're innocent? That you innocent? Your innocent is less than somebody else's innocent. No, you can't then say that. So then it goes on to say, behold, I will plead with you. This is what they saying. I will plead with you because you say, I have not sinned. Right? So surely his anger shall turn from me. This is what they say. Behold, I will plead with you because you say you innocent. So I have, because you said you have not sinned. Why have you, it says, why gaddest thou about so much to change your way? Why? And you also shall be ashamed in Egypt, which is the slave, going back into the slave in which he took you out of. As you was also ashamed of Assyria. Yeah, you shall go forth from him and your hands upon your head, for the Lord has rejected your confidence, and you shall not prosper in them. Meaning, you going towards these other people. You're not gonna prosper in that.
Yeah.
And yet you're gonna say all kind of stuff at the end of all of this. And God gonna plead with you. But what you don't understand is whatever you start is what you're gonna finish. So if you don't start today while you yet still alive, God say he gonna plead with you. But who you going to choose? Why he pleading at the time that you gonna need him? Who you gonna choose? If you done all this evil, that stuff is gonna carry on. Like I've been saying, that stuff is gonna carry on with you until the end of your life. And when it's come time for Jesus to come to you and say, come with me, you're not gonna be able to choose him because you didn't get trained up this whole time. You ain't used the fruits of the spirit. And yet you still thought it was okay to be angry. But yet you don't even know what this anger was in. It does say anger and sin not. I mean, it does say that. Bitterness is sin. It's a sin because it's to do with evil. Bitterness is evil. So if you don't know if your anger is rooted in evil, then you cannot just curse because you feel like cursing. You cannot just go out and have sex with whoever you want to have because you're angry. You can't just go do what you want to do just because you're angry. But the number one thing that people don't get is that bitterness is sin. So again, you can't just come out with nothing until you stay in your bed and hear what God got to say to you first. So then that goes to a lot of people that keep using this Bible verse over and over again. God said we can be angry. That's just partial of what you're saying. It said anger and sin not. So if you still got a little bitterness coming from your mouth because you searching for love in all the wrong people and not God, you got some bitterness coming out towards people by cursing and going off and you sinning. You still sinning, and your innocence it's not going to be taken as such. When you're going to be the one, this is why he's saying he's going to plead with you, because at the end you're going to be the one that's still not going to choose him because you didn't choose him in the beginning. It's going to be on your head. But that's all I have to say. Is it anything that you all want to say before we go out
Yes.
to the people out there?
Just want to say,
What you want to say, Joshua?
be a follower.
Follower who?
Anything other than God.
You say what?
Anything other than God.
You said be a follower.
Don't be a follower.
Oh, don't be a follower. Okay. I was like, what? Don't be a follower of anything other than God. You heard it from the youth.
What
What do
you
you
guys
got
say?
to say, Shajan,
Yeah.
before we go out? What you got to say, Shajan? Shajan? Shajan?
Mhm. And Jesus loves you.
You heard it, you all. Jesus loves you. And don't follow anybody other than God.
Exactly.
And I would like to say, stay blessed and stay tuned for more. Bye for now.
Amen.
Bye.
Bye bye. Salute.